The rain started before dawn, but the screaming began long before that. People in the village still whisper about the night her world broke, when a single phone call, a trembling voice, and a sentence wrapped in fear dragged her into a darkness she never planned to face. They said the man she trusted, the man she defended, the man she loved, had finally shown his true face. They warned her not to go. They warned her not to open the door. They warned her that some betrayals don't come with a sound, only with an aftershock. And yet, she went. Because curiosity is a curse. Because truth is a knife. Because sometimes, the person you're running toward is the very person you should be running from. Tonight, you will hear the story they tried to bury. Tonight, you'll learn why the town still refuses to say his name after sunset. And tonight, you will understand why every survivor says the same thing. He didn't hide the truth. He only hid how far he was willing to go. She arrived at the old house just after 2 a.m. The lights were off, but the windows were open, like someone wanted the darkness to breathe. The place felt abandoned, except for the faint echo of something metallic, something sharp, something moving. She whispered his name. No answer. Just the creak of the hallway, a slow, heavy thud, and the smell of something cold in the air. On the table she found it. A single torn photograph. Her face scratched out. His smile untouched. That was the first sign. The second sign was worse. A message carved into the wood beneath it. You should have listened. A chill climbed her spine like a warning she was too late to understand. She moved deeper into the house, each step sinking into memories she didn't want back. It wasn't fear that held her there. It was confusion, hurt. The kind of agony you feel when someone you trusted begins to feel like a stranger wearing their face. And then she saw the shadow. Tall, still, almost waiting for her. Her breath froze. Her heartbeat fell out of rhythm because she knew that silhouette. She had traced it with her fingers on nights she believed were safe. But something was wrong. Something in the way he stood. Something in the way he didn't move. Like he was listening for her next step, deciding what came after. If you're watching this right now, answer this in your mind. Would you step forward or run? Most people think they'd run, but most people are wrong. Because she stepped forward. Slowly. Carefully. Like she was approaching a wounded animal. But this wasn't an animal. This was a revelation waiting to break her. The first reveal. His voice came from behind her. Not from the silhouette, from the darkness. Soft, cracked, and almost relieved. You shouldn't be here. They'll blame me for what happens tonight, but you came on your own. She didn't recognize his tone, didn't recognize the fear behind it, didn't recognize the man she thought she knew. He stepped into the faint glow of moonlight. His hands were shaking, his clothes were stained, his eyes hollow. He whispered, "It wasn't supposed to be you." Before she could respond, the house shook, like something inside its walls wanted out. Something he had locked away, something moving, something alive. She looked at him, trembling. "What did you do?" He didn't answer. He only backed away and said something far worse. "Don't open any doors. Not tonight." Pause for a moment and think. If you were in her place, would you trust him now, or would you start checking every room to find the truth? Let me know your instinct, because what happens next depends entirely on the choice she made. And she made the worst one. She ignored his warning. She touched the nearest door. It was warm. Like something was breathing behind it. She whispered his name one more time, and the door answered back, with a whisper that did not belong to him. A whisper that said, "Finally."
The whisper slid through the crack in the door like cold air, brushing against her ear as if it knew her name, as if it had been waiting. She froze, fingers still resting on the warm wood. Something inside the room shifted, slow, dragging, deliberate. He rushed toward her, voice breaking. "Don't open it." But fear does strange things to a person. It rewires logic, amplifies curiosity, and makes danger feel like a riddle that must be solved. She pulled her hand away, but the damage was already done. The door wasn't breathing anymore. It was listening, And then it clicked. Not opening, unlocking from the inside. The house shifts. A draft crawled through the hallway, carrying a scent she didn't recognize, metallic, like old machinery mixed with something rotten. She stepped back, and the floorboards moaned under her weight. He grabbed her wrist, gently but desperately. "You shouldn't have touched it. Not that door. Not tonight." His voice cracked like a man confessing to ghosts. "What's in there?" she whispered. He shook his head, pupil shrinking. "Not what? Who?" Her blood cooled. "Who's in the room?" He didn't answer. He didn't need to, because the silence that followed was alive. Something dragged itself closer to the door, slow, uneven, crawling on hands and something else. Imagine this moment for yourself. A locked room, a whisper behind the door, the person you trust, trembling beside you. Do you stay or do you run? Most people think they'd run, but in real fear, people freeze, just like she did. The door finally moves. The knob turned. Once. Twice. Slowly. As if whatever was inside didn't want to open the door, it wanted her to open it. He stepped in front of her like a shield, even though his own body trembled. "If it comes out," he said, "don't look at its face." Her breath caught. "Why?" He swallowed hard. "Because that's where the lies live." Before she could ask what that meant, the door stopped turning. The house fell silent, not peaceful, expectant, the kind of silence that comes before a scream. Then, bang! The door slammed from the inside, shaking the walls. Dust rained from the ceiling. The lights flickered. A thin crack split across the wood like a crooked smile. Another bang. Another. Another. Whatever was in that room wasn't trying to come out. It was trying to break the house. He breaks. The first truth. "Tell me what you're hiding," she shouted. He pressed his hands to his face, voice shaking. "I didn't mean for this. I was trying to protect you. I thought I had more time." She grabbed his arms, forcing him to look at her. "From who?" He pointed at the door. "From him." Her heart stopped. "Him? Who?" He whispered the name like a curse he wished he could swallow back. "Your brother." Her vision blurred. Her throat tightened. Her knees nearly buckled. "My... what?" Her voice barely formed the question. "He came here last night," he said, trembling. "He wasn't the same. Something followed him. Something changed him. I locked him in before he hurt anyone." She stumbled back, shaking her head. "No, my brother died 6 months ago." He didn't blink, didn't move, didn't breathe. "I know." The hallway temperature dropped as if the house itself absorbed her shock. "How is he alive?" He looked at the door's splintering crack, voice flat. "He isn't." Pause for a moment. If you discovered a door in your house and someone inside, someone who should not exist, began calling your name, would you open it? Yes or no? Answer mentally, because the choice she makes next decides whether she survives the night or becomes another voice behind a locked door.